If you look at the majority of people, in many ways, they are like a cork bobbing in the ocean. They're drifting along. Someone once said the statesperson thinks about the future generations, the ordinary person thinks about the rest of the day. And unfortunately, so many good people with massive potential to achieve their personal genius have betrayed it because they've just got pulled into reactivity, pulled into the noise of our modern life, pulled into diversions and distractions and trivial attractions. And so what I wanted to do in this episode to be of service to you is deconstruct why so few people succeed. And so I've come up with an acronym, and the acronym is LSG. LSG. And so few people who could succeed actually do succeed because they've given up on learning, study, and growth. LSG, learning, study, and growth. So the neurobiologists and neuropsychologists will tell us that the human brain craves learning, and it craves curiosity, and it craves novelty. And unfortunately, a lot of us, we learned in school, but the moment we left school and walked out into the world, we've given up on our personal commitment to growth. And so I'm inviting you with great love and respect to reclaim the curiosity you once knew as a child when you were overflowing with awe and wonder. You see, our natural state is the way were as children. We're built to be curious. We're built to be passionate. We're built to be full of energy. We're built to question things. You look at a little child and it's like, Mommy, Daddy, why? You look at an adult and they've contracted their curiosity. They've given up on seeing the magic in the world. They no longer grow. And so the mindset I want you to start practicing, because no idea works unless you do the work. To install a core belief, you just practice it until it becomes automatic. That's how you actually get to change your psychology. And so the mindset I invite you to start practicing each day is what I call the 2x, 3x mindset. To double your income and your impact, triple your investment in two core areas. Number one, your personal mastery, and number two, your professional capability. And how do you do that? Again, you do it through learning, study, and growth. So I guess what I'm suggesting to you is you look at most of the population and you commit yourself to what I call anti-majority behavior. If you want to have a great life, a soaring life, a creative life, a productive life, a ultra prosperous life, look at what most people do and do the opposite. So most people, what they do is they love consuming as opposed to creating. We live in a civilization of consumers. Buy this, eat this, do this, consume this. But the top 5%, those who play in the rare air of world class, are not consumers, they're creators. Secondly, most people, the 95%, and this is no judgment, just reporting, but they're pleasure seekers. If you look at the true warriors of humanity, you look at the true empire builders, you look at the true titans who are constructing a better world, they're less about pleasure seeking because they understand that growth comes through discomfort. Willpower is built through voluntary acts of quote unquote suffering. I mean, to do hard work is to grow. To push yourself on a project to places that frighten you is to expand your creative capabilities. I hope I'm making sense for you here. But pleasure seekers don't create monuments. If you look at the Taj Mahal, if you look at Piazza Navona in Rome, if you look at the Great Wall of China, if you look at the Mona Lisa created by Da Vinci, if you look at the Sistine Chapel created by Michelangelo, if you look at any great company, okay, an Apple under Steve Jobs, for example, or it might have been Elon Musk's companies. I don't know what companies most speak to you, but if you look at any world-class company, Under Armour comes to mind. These companies took grit, they took suffering, they took relentlessness. Any creative person has to face the arrows and slings of their critics. So you get to world class through the doorway of discomfort. And how do you build a strong inner core? You do it by walking into the metaphorical hard winters of growth. That's how you train. You look at a great athlete. It's the way they show up in the championship game is simply how they showed up in the lonely light of the early hours at practice. It wasn't easy. I mean, I always think of Muhammad Ali. He said, I didn't like any one of those early morning training sessions, but I said to myself, suffer now and spend the rest of your life as a champion. The 95% are also pretty bored. That's why they're addicted to distraction. I mean, if you do not have a cause and a burning fire and a purpose for your life, no matter what you do, taxi driver, teacher, firefighter, carpenter, baker, once you know a cause, then I'll put it to you this way. A compelling cause to donate the rest of your life to is the antidote to apathy. But most people don't know. You say, what do you want to stand for? I don't know. Good question. You say, what 5 things need to happen over the next 90 days for this to be the best quarter of your life? I don't know. You ask yourself, what are your top 5 values? I don't know. You ask yourself, ask most people, what is your magnificent obsession that gets you out of bed at 5 in the morning with fire in the belly and sparkle in your eyes? And they say, I don't know. See, most people do not spend the time to think. They're busy being busy, caught up in the complexity of every day. Divorce yourself from the majority. Get involved in what I'm sharing with you is anti-majority behavior. And here's the brain tattoo that I've been teaching at my events at like Personal Mastery Academy or my four-day flagship event, the Titan Summit. And the brain tattoo I teach to the people in the room for exponential productivity, so they build their empires, so they live world-class lives, is simply this. To have the results only 5% of the population have, you've got to be willing to do the things that only 5% of the population are willing to do.